And we continue speaking about this now to the Public Protector Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane. A very good evening to you, Public Protector, and thank you so much for speaking to us. Advocate Mkhwebane, you mentioned in that excerpt of the interview that part of the reasons of a lack of paper trail was because some of the documents were taken by the city of Johannesburg. Just to help our viewers understand the process you would have had to undergone in your investigations with the Human Rights Commission, did this disadvantage you in getting a full picture of some of these allegations you were dealing with?
Thank you, Episode, and to the viewers and listeners. The investigation was well conducted and jointly with the Human Rights Commission, the hearings, and in your opening, in the opening clip, you've covered all aspects. But then coming to the issue of the Alexandra Renewal project, during our investigations, yes, we couldn't find the documents because they were taken to a place where they are kept. The investigation staff went to that particular place. They've seen tons and tons of records which this firm of attorneys or forensic investigators are going through to make sure that they also determine whether there was any corruption, maladministration, and the allegations that there were fraudulent instances or fraud which was committed in the process, procurement fraud, post facto approvals. And also what I need to mention is that for the monies which were spent in the project compared to the delivery or what currently they are showing us that with those resources, they have built a road or they have built the following houses, which at the end of the day, that investigation will uncover whether there was value for money in that. And also where there's a recovery of public funds, there should be recovery of public funds.
I mean, there is one allegation which was stood prominent, and I'm not by any way suggesting that it was the most important, but the housing issue. The investigation revealed that the management and delivery of bulk municipal services was found wanting. Now, how did it manifest itself? One of the things that we've heard about is irregularities in the awarding of houses. You yourself have spoken about property encroachment. Please share with us more about what you found during your investigations.
Okay, our findings, especially relating to provision of housing, was that there were a lot of gaps in the system, and we found that the Department of Housing has not delivered services according to the constitutional or the relevant prescripts. So what we've picked up is that there were a lot of issues relating to the ever mushrooming of illegal structures on every open piece of land. And there's overcrowding in hostels and lack of maintenance. There's also tensions in the community and dissatisfaction with regard to those on the housing list waiting for a long period of time. And there's illegal occupation of RDP houses, because you find that people who are on the list are not allocated, but then for some reason you find that others are jumping the queue, or there's then those who are occupying these houses illegally. And failure or undue delay to issue qualifying residents of Alexandra with the title deed documents. So that's what we've uncovered, which we had to then make the necessary remedial action as far as rectifying those. And I must indicate that as well, the Department of Social Development or the HOD was very cooperating during the investigation. And we have then also requested that they submit the plan. That plan will be detailed and will then be a plan which will indicate how they are going to be resolving all the findings which we had, and also these challenges which have been picked up along the way.
Just in terms of some of the mismanagement you spoke about, and you said some of that is contrary to the Constitution, but I'd like to also hear it from the perspective of the Public Protectors Act and what laws are being broken here. I mean, it's obviously no-brainer in terms of the fact that it's a danger to people's health if they face service delivery deficiencies such as blocked manholes, drains, unpleasant stenches, and in hostels, refuse removal not happening, etc., etc. So in terms of the Public Protectors Act, so how would this then fall into your purview, and what laws would you say are being broken if anybody is going to be held to account?
Thank you for that question, Sepiso, because it also clarifies our investigations as the Public Protector and our mandate. As Public Protector, when we investigate, we check what happened, what should have happened, what are the prescripts which have been violated, and therefore whether there is a gap between the two, and how can we remedy whatever prescripts which have been violated. So where the Public Protector Act comes in, we determine whether there was a maladministration, meaning there was undue delay to provide services, whether there's abuse of state resources, whether there's any issues relating to abuse of power by the officials. So when we investigate maladministration, those are the issues which we are picking up. When it comes to the issues relating to housing, for instance, definitely we will have to check the Constitution and then the relevant legislation, the Housing Act, whether it's the Municipal Systems Act, whether is the prescripts relating to water and sanitation, environmental laws. So that's what we do as an institution. We check all those relevant prescripts, and out of our finding, we determine that they have violated those laws which are governing them. Therefore, that is maladministration according to the Public Protector Act. So that's what our findings have revealed, that there is that gap. They violated the relevant prescripts in all these aspects of the law, knowing very well that the Constitution is the supreme law. Therefore, there are those various legislation which are applicable in each sector: the National Water Act, the National Environmental Management Act. So that's how we conduct our investigation.
We're talking about accountability of the state here, and we've seen the protests which have sometimes turned violent are because residents are frustrated. But your findings also made findings which the people of Alexandra are found to have transgressed some laws that would include illegal connection of electricity. Another one that I found interesting was that of the uncontrolled influx of illegal immigrants. So the whole concept of a victimless crime, if you can't find somebody responsible for it, I'm thinking of illegal connections. Everybody knows it happens, but nobody really knows who does it. So how do you hold people accountable there? And also including the uncontrolled influx of illegal immigrants. Who should be controlling that?
That one, thank you for that. And in clarifying that finding, enforcement of the laws. The city has bylaws, Tsepiso, and bylaws will indicate how the issues of trading people with licenses, the issues of relating to electricity, issues relating to how the waste, the dumping of waste, and where they should be doing that. Hence, in our findings or in our remedies as well, we said the South African Police Services as the custodian of issues relating to crime, issues relating to prevention of crime, and issues relating to making sure that they support the JMPD in the enforcement of the relevant bylaws. Therefore, you'd find that if these are perpetuated, then they will also lead to crimes such as your normal crimes, though they indicated that there is a decline of crimes such as murder, rape, assault, and contact crimes. But then we are saying then let them assist the JMPD in the enforcement of these laws or bylaws. And we are saying SABC also is relevant or is responsible for working with the Department of Home Affairs, which has immigration officials, and they should also be assisting in conducting the necessary operations where make sure that people are documented, because if you know who is documented, and also assist in making sure that those who are documented or those who are not documented, they are brought to the necessary authorities. If they have to get the proper documentation, let them get the proper documentation.
All right. Just very quickly on some of those remedial actions you've suggested, Advocate Mkhwebane, there's also that the Premier of Gauteng should bring in the Special Investigating Unit. If you could just quickly tell us what for, and also about the multidisciplinary approach and collaboration that you suggested he embark on.
Thank you. That one relates to the finding of requesting the Premier to approach the President to issue the proclamation, especially on those on the matter relating to the Alexandra renewal project. Hence, I said, Tsepiso, that is a huge investigation which needs all hands on deck. Yes, the forensic team of investigators have at an advanced stage of their investigations, and as well we will be assisting them with getting more documentation, for instance, where they don't have powers to subpoena certain information. But then on this one, we are also saying the SIU should look into the procurement fraud and irregularities, conflict of interest, unauthorized expenditure, and the recovery of public funds where appropriate. And I must also indicate that the SIU, especially their tribunal, they will be able to, where they identify monies which have been paid or utilized by certain officials, they would be able to make sure that they approach either the hawks or forward the criminal aspects to the hawks, or as well the asset forfeiture unit. Okay. To those issues. So it's making sure that we close all the gaps. But the multidisciplinary approach, we're saying the Premier should make sure that the province and the local sphere of government, they work together and collaboratively, so that all these areas are handled in a comprehensive way. They don't only focus on dealing with because earlier somebody asked, but are you saying then in enforcement of the law, they must bring in the red ends and say, I'm saying that won't happen, because we are part of the process of the implementing these remedial actions. But also if they work in collaboration with the province, there will be then that support. All and right. I must indicate a lot of the remedies have been implemented.
All right. Thank you very much for speaking to us, the Public Protector Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane.